Hey YouTube, here to do another movie review, this time of Captain America Civil War. So, to preface this, there were super duper high expectations for this. I honestly was intimidated by the expectations. I really felt like it was going to be almost another Avengers 2 in the sense that the expectations became so high, there was a lot of people out there who were disappointed. However, this was not the case. In fact, some people were bold enough to say that this was the best superhero movie ever. That is potentially true. So, I'll get into the good and why it's potentially the best ever. The not so good, or even just the bad of the movie, and then how this connects to the Marvel Universe moving forward. Warning, there may be spoilers in this. I'm going to try and keep this spoiler free, but can't guarantee that. So if you haven't seen it yet, click away. Jumping right into this, best superhero movie ever. Is it? I think it could be. Before this movie, my favorite superhero movie was probably The Dark Knight, or Captain America 2, or The Avengers, and I put this right up there at that level in terms of quality. And why is this movie that good? Why is this so good? It's not because of the 20-minute action scenes, although those are great. It's because of the emotional stakes of this movie. The Russo brothers did a fantastic job establishing why each of the characters wanted what they wanted, why they chose their side, and why Steve Rogers chose his side, why Tony Stark chose his side. The emotional weight of every decision each character makes in this movie is so heavy, and it was very grounded. It wasn't as fantastical as the Avengers. It was, because like the Avengers is almost slapstick in terms of why they're doing what they're doing, but this is very real world, and again the stakes are so high, emotional stakes. I'm not saying it's a end of the world stakes, but the stakes are extremely emotional for Captain America and for Tony Stark. And I would say that's the best part of the movie. There are scenes in the movie, there's fan service scenes, like when you first meet Spider-Man. I almost had my heart was racing, and then the scenes with Ant-Man were fantastic. What really got you, what really started wrenching your heart, is when you see like Steve Rogers tear up, or when you see Tony Stark being confronted by someone who's the mother of a victim in Sokovia. Spoiler alert. Or when you see that the raft exists to imprison supervillains, and the Avengers who were on Capside are put in the raft. And the very last fight scene, the third act, which is Iron Man versus Captain America and Bucky. Incredible. And the reason why Iron Man flips and starts fighting those two is incredibly compelling and heart-wrenching. So just to jump into what wasn't great. Not much really to say there. Vision seemed a little off. It's, in Avengers 2, he was a little more grounded, and in this, they're trying to express who he is more. And it kind of doesn't work. It's cool though. It's really cool when he phases through walls. his obsession with Wanda, although is in the comics, it doesn't really make sense. They don't do a good job of establishing why. And the transition from the second to the third act is very just quick, and there's something missing there. That's the airport scene to Siberia or wherever they ended up. Just like, whoa, we're from here to here in this amount of time, or really, no fighter jets stop this from getting from here to here. And they don't really do a good job of explaining why Black Panther his suit is like bulletproof. They mentioned vibranium, and all of a sudden he's flying a jet. Post-credit scene explains more in those regards, but it's just, those were the three big issues, I think. But overall, I would still give it a 95% score, or nearly perfect A+. Last gripe is Baron Zemo. What he did was so cruel and awesome, but his motivations were, I don't know, was rushed. If they just kept it as to where he was in Hydra and built him up more, what Marvel keeps doing is they're fucking up their villains because they're not building up their story enough. Loki is an awesome villain in the Avengers because we learned his entire backstory in Thor, and I really think they kind of wasted Crossbones in this because he blows up in the beginning. Oh well, like Crossbones would have been a better villain than Zemo, honestly, at this point. But the good news is Zemo's still alive, so he'll probably be a part of the future. Like, did he intentionally get himself captured? But on to what's next in the Marvel Universe. Wow. We end the movie in a cliffhanger because there's very clear two separate factions. There's Team Cap and Team Iron Man, and Team Iron Man is a wreck, and Team Cap is hiding. So now we have Thor and Asgard, Hulk hiding, Scarlet Witch, no, not Scarlet Witch, sorry, Black Widow hiding now, and then Team Cap who's hiding, and then we have Iron Man. If you saw the movie, we'll just say you know what happened to War Machine. And then we have, oh yeah, wait, ooh, back up to Team Cap. Ant-Man, he's got a movie coming out. When? Before Infinity War Part 1? And then there's Black Panther, and then Guardians 2. Point being, the Avengers are no more. The Avengers do not exist anymore, and if they do exist, the government has oversight, and the Russo brothers has to figure that out and how that's going to work. It probably has to be something at global scale, probably Thanos. I don't know. But point being, this event changed the Marvel Universe more than anything has in the past, and I have no idea where they're gonna go. I know Doctor Strange is coming out, but I still have no idea how they're gonna bridge the gap from Civil War to Infinity War, and I'm really interested and excited to see how they do it. It's not really a clear path like we've been seeing from Iron Man to the Avengers, or from the Avengers to Avengers 2. Phase 3 has begun at Civil War, and I have no idea where we're going. I have no idea how they're going to tell these stories. But overall, if you haven't seen it yet, this was my number one pick for this year, and it's still my number one for the year. I think it's the most emotionally compelling superhero movie ever. I mean it, really mean it. If any of you out there are saying Batman v Superman, no, this is way better. And it actually establishes why Cap and Iron Man fight versus Superman has to save his mom, but that's DC. I'm appalled at DC right now. I wish they did it right, but I'll stick to my Marvel fanboyness here and just say, yeah, Captain America Civil War is an A+, and you should go see it. If you haven't seen it yet, why on earth did you watch a spoiler review? Keep it locked right here, and I'll catch you guys later.